Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 kids who sued their own parents. So when you're raising a kid, there's always going to be some conflicts. But most of the time, these conflicts don't involve a courtroom. Well, here are some occasions where kids actually sued their own parents. But before you're sworn in, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Coming in at number 10, we have Facebook takeover. A few years back in Arkansas, USA, a 16-year-old sued his own mother. He filed harassment charges against his mother called Denise New. But what did his mom do? Well, according to The Sun, she bullied another teen from her son's own Facebook page. She apparently logged onto her son's Facebook account and harassed other teens he was friends with. But the entire time, she was posed as him. This means everyone thought the son was being mean to them, when in reality it was the mom the entire time. Obviously, when people in real life confronted him about this, he was totally confused. But he soon found out it was his mom doing it and sued her. In court, Denise New simply claimed she was monitoring her son's Facebook profile. This was to make sure he was using the internet in a safe way. But the judge and jury disagreed, and in fact said that Denise was using Facebook in a bad way. So her son actually won the lawsuit against her, but would you sue your parents for doing this? Next up is Shutterbug. I'm sure your parents have a lot of embarrassing photos of you while growing up. And who knows, maybe they even like to get them out every now and then and show them to family and friends. But at least they're not on Facebook, right? Well, when an Austrian girl turned 14, she was shocked by the amount of embarrassing photos her parents posted of her on Facebook. She didn't know about them before she turned 14. She wasn't allowed a Facebook account before she turned 14. Anyway, she saw the embarrassing photos posted to her parents' 700 friends. Of course, she ran over to them and told them to take them down. But for some reason, the parents refused. There were over 500 embarrassing pictures of her, and it seems like the parents simply liked embarrassing their kid on Facebook. By the time the teen turned 18, she instantly moved out. But she also took her parents to court and sued them. Would you guys sue your parents for embarrassing photos online? I'm not sure of the content of these photos, but I assume it must have been bad. Next up is Gary Coleman. So here's a name you actually may know about. We all remember Gary Coleman as a child star who starred in Different Strokes. And he was the person who first said, "What you talking about, Willis?" We all know that child actors have pretty rough lives a lot of the time. They're often forced to work very long hours by their parents who simply want money. Well, that's what Gary Coleman said his parents were like. In 1989, he sued his parents, who were also his business managers. He claimed they mishandled his money and then diminished his fortune to almost nothing. Other child actors also claimed this, such as Corey Feldman. However, Gary Coleman got lucky and the judge awarded him $1.3 million. However, he had to spend most of that on legal fees, and then the rest went away because of his poor investments. Although I'm sure he made the money back with all those Coleman grills. Next up is college fees. So we all know that one of the biggest expenses for young people is going to college. It costs thousands of dollars to do and often has to be paid for by the parents. But in 2014, Caitlin Reese's parents wouldn't pay her college fees, so she sued them. The 21-year-old sued her mom and dad for $906 for tuition. This was to go to Rowan College in Pennsylvania. But after that, she sued them again for $16,000 for tuition from Philadelphia's Temple University. Believe it or not, the daughter won both lawsuits against her parents, and her parents filed appeals. However, they were still made to pay all of her college tuition fees. Now, you may think she's being very spoiled here, but Caitlin was actually thrown out of the house by her parents when she was only 18 years old. She was then homeless and financially ruined and stuck, unable to move towards her future in college. So that's why she sued her parents, so she was able to get the college fees to get a job and then have a normal life. So now that you know that, do you think Caitlin's in the right or in the wrong? Leave a comment below letting me know. Next up is bad parenting. So when you were younger, you likely got in fights with your mom a lot. But in Illinois in 2011, a mom called Kimberly Garrity was sued by her own adult children. That's right, her 23-year-old son named Steve and her 20-year-old daughter named Catherine both sued her for bad parenting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not a crime, and according to Kimberly, they had a very nice life. The kids grew up in a $1.5 million home with their parents. However, the thing they didn't like was Kimberly's chores and rules. And also they complained that she didn't send them birthday money after they became adults. Now, you may be wondering what lawyer would actually entertain this. Well, the kids' lawyer was actually their father and Kimberly's ex-husband. Something tells me this case has more to do with spite than anything else. And it's really not shocking that this case was dismissed twice. Next up is Gimme Gimme. So when you were younger, you likely got an allowance. And if you didn't get an allowance one week, you were probably pretty upset. Well, in 2011, a 25-year-old Spanish man didn't get his $588 monthly allowance from his parents, so he sued them. They usually give him a monthly allowance of $588 plus room and board. But when they didn't, the 25-year-old man sued his own parents. But to the joy of a lot of you watching, the lawsuit backfired. The court not only dismissed the son's lawsuit, but he also gave the man 30 days to move out of his parents' house. And the judge even told him to go find a job. Next up is bar mitzvah gift. So if any of you are Jewish, you likely had a bar mitzvah. This is where you have a big party and a lot of gifts. Well, in 2015, a 20-year-old man named Jordan Ziedman successfully sued his mom over a $5,000 bar mitzvah gift. When he turned 13 and had his bar mitzvah, his grandmother gave him $5,000. But because that's a lot of money for a 13-year-old to have, the grandmother gave the money to his mom and told his mom to hold on to it. The mom was supposed to save up for Jordan's college fund. But Jordan never received the money and the mom ended up spending it on herself. Because this money was for tuition fees, Jordan feared he may not be able to go to college now. So he ended up suing his mom for the money. Next up is grounded. So I'm sure as a kid your parents grounded you once, or maybe a lot of times. Well, in 2008, a father grounded his 12-year-old daughter. She'd bypassed his security settings and posted inappropriate pictures of herself online. And she also got around certain websites and chat rooms he'd blocked. He said she couldn't go to her graduation party and also told her not to use the internet ever again. But instead of taking the punishment or arguing about it, the 12-year-old girl sued her own dad. The father appealed, but the court said the punishment was way too severe for the daughter's misbehavior. So guys, a 12-year-old literally won a lawsuit against her own parents. Has this world gone crazy, or is that a good thing? Next up is parental divorce. So we've heard of husband and wives getting divorced in court. But what about a mother and son? Well, in 1992, a 12-year-old boy named Gregory Ralph Kingsley sued his own mom. That's right, he successfully divorced himself from his mom in court. You see, Gregory had been living with his father, however his father then gave him to his mother. He only spent a few months living with his mom but didn't like it, so sued her to get a divorce. He was then put in the foster care system and had parents lined up to adopt him. But despite him being in the foster care system and getting parents wanting to adopt him, his mother refused to give him up. His father had already relinquished his parental rights, but the mother refused to relinquish hers. But because the mother was so uninvolved, the judge ruled in the 12-year-old's favor. The judge got the boy's name changed from Gregory to Sean Russ, and successfully divorced this 12-year-old boy from his own mom. Next up is gender change. So this is a case of parents suing their own kid and then the kid counter-suing their own parents. 48-year-old Christine Kitzler had to face her own parents in court. She was born a man but wanted to have gender reassignment surgery to turn into a woman. Her parents did not like this one bit, so they filed an emergency petition to stop it. They said that Christine was incompetent and needed a guardian, but Christine fought back and sued her parents herself. She got a team of experts, lawyers and doctors who declared she was competent and stable. She then had the gender reassignment surgery and was able to live her own truth. What do you guys think about this massive family lawsuit? Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the most crazy lawsuit on this list. I think it's the 25-year-old Spanish man who sued his parents for not giving him an allowance. If you guys want more awesome videos, check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what you're waiting for, subscribe to Top 10s.